The intercepted Truth Captain Marcus Thorne floated in the zero-gravity chamber of Deep Space Station. Omega-7, his weathered face illuminated by the holographic display showing intercepted alien communications. The crystalline data streams pulsed, with an ominous rhythm as his team of cryptographers worked feverishly to decode the final fragments. "Captain, we've got it," announced Lieutenant Zara Voss, her cybernetic implants glowing as she interfaced directly with the quantum decryption. "Matrix, the Kethmoran Coalition isn't coming for peace talks. Operation Crimson Veil, they're planning to deploy biological weapons across 12 major population centers the moment their peace envoys touch down." Thorne's jaw tightened. 23 years of interstellar warfare had taught humanity harsh lessons about alien duplicity. The Kethmorans, with their chitinous exoskeletons and tri-lobed brains, had already wiped out 3 human colonies using similar false diplomatic overtures. New Geneva, Kepler Station, and the mining settlements of Titan's Belt all reduced to graveyards through treachery disguised as olive branches. "How long until their fleet reaches Earth?" Thorne asked, his voice steady despite the gravity of the revelation. 47 hours, sir. They're broadcasting standard diplomatic protocols on all frequencies, requesting permission to enter Earth's orbit for historic peace negotiations, replied Communications Officer Jing Watanabe, his fingers dancing across multiple holographic interfaces. "The media is already calling it humanity's salvation." Thorne activated the secure quantum link to Earth's Unified Defense Command. General Patricia Holbrook's stern face materialized in the air before him, her silver hair pulled back in a military bun that spoke of decades commanding humanity's last stand. "Patricia, they're not coming for peace. We have 47 hours to prepare for the real war." Thorne transmitted the decoded intelligence packets as he spoke. Holbrook's expression didn't change. She'd been expecting this. "Marcus, we've been planning for this scenario since the Centauri massacre. Operation Phantom Strike is already in motion. Every defense satellite is being repositioned, and our stealth fleets are moving into attack formations. The civilians still believe the peace talks are genuine," Thorne warned. "Let them believe. Hope is the only thing keeping morale alive planetside. But our orbital defense grid knows the truth. When those alien ships arrive tomorrow, they'll find Earth's children ready to bite back harder than they ever imagined." As the transmission ended, Thorne gazed out at the star-filled void. Somewhere in that darkness, the Kethmoran fleet was approaching, confident in their deception. They had no idea that humanity's greatest strength wasn't their technology or their numbers. It was their ability to learn from betrayal and turn it into righteous fury. The masquerade begins. The Kethmoran flagship Harmony of Spheres emerged from hyperspace at the edge of Earth's solar system, its bioluminescent hull patterns broadcasting ceremonial peace configurations. Supreme Ambassador Vel Thick stood in the command nexus, his 3 eyes scanning the tactical displays with satisfaction. The human homeworld hung before them like a ripe fruit, completely unaware of the biological warfare pods concealed within the diplomatic transport vessels. "The humans are responding to our peace overtures, exactly as predicted," reported Warcast Zixmo, his mandibles clicking with amusement. "Their primitive emotional responses make them remarkably predictable. They're even organizing celebration ceremonies for our arrival." Vel Thick's segmented tail twitched with anticipation. The Kethmoran Coalition had perfected this strategy across 17 star systems. Appear as peaceful negotiators, deploy the death spores during the ceremonial exchanges, then return in 6 months to claim an empty world. The humans would be just another conquered species in their expanding empire. Meanwhile, in the depths of Luna City, Dr. Nathaniel Cross monitored the approaching alien fleet through a network of concealed observation satellites. His laboratory, officially designated as Xenobiology Research Station Alpha, was actually the nerve center for humanity's most classified defense project. They're maintaining perfect diplomatic formation, Cross reported to his team. Even their escort vessels are displaying non-threatening energy signatures. If we didn't know better, we'd think they were genuinely coming for peace. Research specialist Yuki Tanaka adjusted her neural interface, accessing real-time data from the intercepted communications. Dr. Cross, we're detecting micro-movements in their cargo holds. The biological weapon containers are being moved into position for deployment. Cross nodded grimly. The Kethmorans had no idea that every piece of their technology salvaged from previous battlefields had been reverse-engineered by humanity's brightest minds. Their bioweapons, their communication protocols, even their cultural psychology, all had been studied, analyzed, and countered. Initiate Protocol Lazarus, Cross commanded. Begin deployment of the counteragent across all major population centers. If they want to play with biological warfare, they'll discover that humans have become exceptionally good at playing for keeps. Above Earth's atmosphere, the alien fleet began its final approach. Velthek composed his speech about ending the cycle of violence and building a bridge between species. The same lies he'd spoken to doomed worlds across the galaxy, but hidden. In the asteroid belt, cloaked human dreadnoughts waited with weapons charged and targeting solutions locked. Admiral Devon Blackstone stood on the bridge of the Retribution, watching the alien fleet approach their trap with cold satisfaction. The Kethmorans thought they were the hunters, but they were about to discover that Earth's children had evolved beyond their expectations. A false welcome the global. Media erupted in celebration as the Kethmoran fleet achieved stable orbit around Earth. Massive crowds gathered in Times Square, Trafalgar Square, and the Unity Plaza of New Shanghai, waving banners proclaiming peace. At last, and united worlds. The carefully orchestrated propaganda had worked flawlessly. Humanity believed salvation was descending from the stars. President Victoria Sterling stood before the United Nations General Assembly, her voice carrying across every inhabited continent. After 23 years of devastating war, we stand at the threshold of a new age. The Kethmoran Coalition has extended their hand in friendship, and we will meet them with open hearts and minds. The assembled diplomats applauded thunderously, unaware that beneath the building, military command centers buzzed with lethal preparation. Sterling's public words masked the grim reality. Humanity's leadership knew exactly what was coming, and they were ready to respond with overwhelming force. Aboard the Harmony of Spheres, Supreme Ambassador Velthik prepared for the ceremonial descent to Earth's surface. His ornate diplomatic robes concealed bioweapon dispersal units, while his escort carried innocuous-looking gifts that would release death spores into the atmosphere during the formal exchange ceremony. The human leaders have agreed to meet us at their primary governmental complex, Velthik informed his tactical team. Their naivety continues to astound me. They're literally inviting their own extinction. Warcast Zixmal's compound eyes gleamed with predatory satisfaction. 17 worlds have fallen to this exact strategy. The humans will be no different. Their emotional attachment to hope makes them beautifully vulnerable. But 3 levels below Earth's surface, in the fortified command bunker of the Global Defense Initiative, a very different conversation was taking place. Fleet Admiral Cassandra Reeves studied the holographic tactical display, watching alien transport craft descend toward the capital. Phoenix Squadron is in position, reported Colonel Miguel Santos, his scarred face bearing witness to countless alien encounters. The moment those bioweapons activate, our stealth fighters will be inside their formation before they can blink. Orbital defense platforms are fully charged, added Captain Rachel Kim from the weapons control station. We've got targeting solutions on every alien vessel in the fleet. They won't escape Earth's gravity well. Reeves nodded approvingly. The Kethmorans had made one critical error. They assumed humanity would react to their false peace offering, the same way other species had, but humans were different. They'd learned to weaponize their own desperation. "Remember," Reeves addressed her command staff, "we let them begin their attack. We need undeniable proof of their hostile intentions before we unleash hell. The moment their bioweapons deploy, we stop playing defense and show them what 23 years of warfare has taught us about survival." Above, the alien shuttles touched down on the ceremonial landing platforms, their passengers emerging with practiced smiles and carefully concealed weapons. The final act of their deception was about to begin, but they had no idea that humanity's greatest performance was just getting started. The trap springs, the ceremony began at precisely 14 o'clock GMT, broadcast live to every corner of human civilization. Supreme Ambassador Vel-Thik descended the ornate ramp of his shuttle, his 3 arms extended in the traditional Kethmoran gesture of peace. The assembled human dignitaries applauded warmly, their faces masks of diplomatic courtesy hiding the steel beneath. "People of Earth," Vel-Thik's translator rendered his chittering speech into perfect English. "We come before you as supplicants, seeking to end the cycle of violence that has consumed our species. The Kethmoran Coalition offers you partnership, prosperity, and peace everlasting." President Sterling stepped forward, accepting the ceremonial crystal containing the peace treaty. She smiled graciously, completely unaware that the crystal was actually a biological weapon designed to release airborne toxins that would begin humanity's extinction within hours. "Your words bring hope to all humanity," Sterling replied her, voice carrying across the plaza. "Let this moment mark the beginning of a new age of cooperation between our peoples." In the depths of the Global Defense Command bunker, Admiral Reeves watched the ceremony through multiple surveillance feeds. Her finger hovered over the activation key for Operation Phantom Strike, waiting for the moment when the aliens would reveal their true intentions. "Bioweapon deployment in progress," reported Dr. Cross from his monitoring station. "They're releasing the toxins, now microscopic spores, designed to infiltrate human respiratory systems." Vel-Thik's internal satisfaction was immense as he watched, the invisible death spreading through the gathered crowd. In approximately 6 hours, the symptoms would begin: first, respiratory distress, then organ failure, finally death. The same pattern that had eliminated billions across 17 worlds. But his confidence began to waver when he noticed something unexpected. The humans weren't showing any signs of distress. In fact, they seemed completely unaffected by the biological agent that should have been overwhelming their systems. "Supreme Ambassador," Warcast Zixmal's voice crackled through his private communication implant, "the bioweapon appears to be ineffective. Human physiology is somehow resisting the toxins." Vel-Thik's 3 eyes widened in alarm. This had never happened before. Every species they'd encountered had succumbed to their biological warfare within minutes. Something was terribly wrong. In the command bunker, Dr. Cross smiled grimly as he monitored the alien confusion. "Counter-agent deployment successful. The immunity boosters we've been secretly distributing in the water supply for the past month are working perfectly. Their bioweapons are completely neutralized." Admiral Reeves stood from her command chair, her voice cutting through the controlled chaos of the military command center. "They've revealed their hand. All units, initiate Operation Phantom Strike. Show them what happens when you try to genocide humanity." Above Earth's atmosphere, the cloaked human fleet received their orders. Stealth dreadnoughts powered up their weapon systems. Orbital defense platforms swiveled toward the alien vessels, and AI-controlled drone swarms began their final approach. The Kethmorans had come expecting to find sheep, but they were about to discover that Earth's children had evolved into apex predators. Earth's children bite back. The transformation was instantaneous and terrifying. What had been empty space around the alien fleet suddenly swarmed with human warships as stealth fields deactivated. The Kethmorans found themselves surrounded by a mechanical nightmare, hundreds of vessels they hadn't detected, all bearing weapons charged and ready. "Impossible," Velthik stammered, his diplomatic composure cracking as the harmony of spheres shuddered under the targeting locks of 12. "Human dreadnoughts. How did they—" "Because you made the same mistake every predator makes," came a voice across the communication channels. Admiral Devon Blackstone's scarred face appeared on every alien view screen, his eyes burning with the fury of 23. "Years of warfare. You assumed your prey would always be helpless." The human counterattack was surgical in its precision and overwhelming in its scope. Orbital defense platforms, hidden in the shadows of Earth's moons, unleashed streams of coherent energy that sliced through alien shielding like tissue paper. AI-controlled drone swarms, each unit no larger than a human fist, but carrying enough firepower to cripple a starship, swarmed the alien vessels with terrifying coordination. Warcast Zixmal screamed orders at his tactical officers, desperately, trying to organize a defense. "Return fire. All weapons. Target the human command vessels." But the Kethmoran weapons found only empty space. The human fleet moved with impossible coordination, their ships dancing between alien weapon bursts with maneuvers that defied conventional physics. Every shot missed while human return fire found its mark with mechanical precision. "You see," Admiral Blackstone's voice continued, broadcast across all frequencies, "humanity learned something important from your previous massacres. We studied every piece of wreckage, analyzed every tactical recording, reverse-engineered every weapon system. We know exactly how you fight because we've been preparing for this moment for decades." The alien fleet began to break apart under the relentless assault. Kethmoran vessels that had seemed invincible during their conquest campaigns found themselves outmaneuvered, outgunned, and completely outmatched by human technology that had evolved specifically to counter their tactics. Supreme Ambassador Velthik watched in horror as his escort vessels exploded one by one, their bioluminescent hulls going dark as human weapon systems found critical vulnerabilities. The species that was supposed to be another easy conquest had become their worst nightmare. "This is impossible," he whispered, his 3 eyes reflecting the destruction around him. No species has ever been pushed to the brink of extinction by you and survived." Admiral Reeves interrupted, her voice joining the communication link from Earth's surface. "But humans are different. We don't just survive, we adapt, we learn, and we remember. Every world you've destroyed taught us something new about how to kill you." The final phase of Operation Phantom Strike began as human boarding parties, equipped with power armor specifically designed to counter Kethmoran biology, cut through alien hull plating with plasma torches. The hunters had become the hunted, and humanity was taking no prisoners. As the last alien vessel powered down its weapons in surrender, Admiral Blackstone delivered humanity's final message. "Tell your coalition that Earth's children are no longer prey. We're the apex predators now, and we've just begun to hunt. The age of human victimhood was over. The age of human dominance had begun."